Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is Sunday.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out what day of
Camp
camp.
day 10. Practice 10. That's it. What's going on?
Chris, how challenging is it to go through training camp with all these kind of moving pieces on the offensive line? You know, you got Ben Barch out, Howard Shalley was out for a day, and Anton's been out for a couple of days. So how difficult is it to sort of, you know, keep this cohesive, I guess?
I mean, honestly, it hasn't been really. It gives us an opportunity to continue to evaluate everybody, put everybody in certain situations. And these environments are so controlled from what we're trying to get out of each thing, what a period is for us, that I don't think it's really that big of a shock to the system to have a different group. You would love to have the same five to create continuity within the group, but at the same time, we like the idea of rolling people and kind of creating that atmosphere that's going to come up at some point in the season.
So this kind of creates an opportunity for other players. You know, you have Walker Little playing left guard, things like that.
Right. Yeah. With that, and then also, Chandler Brewer playing center. There's a bunch of different moving pieces that at some point in time this season, odds are we're going to have to go to something in some way, mix and match. And, we kind of have this to fall back to. At least that guy has experience playing with or next to so-and-so.
What have you thought of Cooper Hodges, especially after his showing yesterday?
Cooper has brought a physicality. He shows up in the team periods. He's done a good job. He's very entertaining pre-practice with his cartwheels and his high fives and stuff like that. No, we've enjoyed him. He brings a physical aspect. That's been the one thing, as these young guys continue to adjust to the speed of the game and the way and the, amount of offense we have in, he's done a good job of just being physical. And at the end of the day, that's a huge part of this game and playing offensive line. He certainly has that element. Now, it's just about continuing to get better every single day. And these games are a little different than practice, so we'll see as we get into this aspect of it what it looks like for him.
Do you think this offensive line was missing some of that physicality at times last year?
I don't know if I'd say that. We're pretty happy with the physicality that we had. There are certain times that maybe, you wish something went a little better, whether that was them, scheme, who we're playing, whatever that may be. But it's certainly an element of our offense that we take pride in and we want to continue to invest in.
We've kind of talked up and down about Calvin and just like what he can do from you guys' scheme perspective and all of that. But when you add a piece like that to the wide receiver room, do you think that kind of pushes everyone else in that room to be better and kind of up their game, seeing what he does on a day-to-day basis?
Absolutely. I mean, somebody that's that talented, he's got different experiences than some of these guys. So I think a lot of these guys watch him and say, oh, he's got this piece of his game, maybe I can add that. The group we have, they're all very locked in mentally on what's going on. So they're all very observant of other people, and they want to continue to add pieces of their game. I mean, none of these guys have been complacent since we got them in terms of where they are in their development. So it's just cool to see them all pick each other's brains, pick each other's parts of their games, excuse me, that they feel like they can apply and make their own.
With that, do you think it kind of helps the guys that are on the lower end of the spectrum where they might be competing for roster spots, or some of those like main character guys like Christian, Zay?
I think it pushes the whole room as a whole. The young guys obviously getting to see what a guy that's done a lot of things in this league, what it looks like, how he works, how he approaches it. And then really with those three guys, Zay, Christian, and Calvin, the way they talk in the meeting room is incredible. So the guys are able to ask questions, pick their brains. They're able to explain why they did what they did or what they're thinking or how they want to, maybe another way they could have run a route or certain things like that I think is invaluable for the young guys.
How has Brenton Strange made progress?
Brenton just continues to get better and a little different aspect of his game each time. We've done more with him on the line and continue to see him as a Y with his hand in the dirt versus, off the ball as an F in the fullback role, extended from the formation. So each day you kind of see one step or one aspect of us kind of spoon feeding little bits and pieces of the offense to kind of see where he can go with it. And so as he adds each piece, that's the biggest thing with him is his versatility. All the different things he can do. He's bringing a physical element to his game, I think, that we value, but he's also able to get away from the formation, get down the field, get down the seam. Excited to see him as a ball carrier in some of these games we get into too.
What was your reaction when you heard that Doug had hired Chad, knowing that you guys were almost together in Philadelphia?
We were almost together in Philadelphia?
Almost.
I don't know if I knew that. Yeah. No, I've known a lot about Chad. We have a lot of mutual friends, people that thought very highly of him, spoke very highly. And honestly, he was really the only person we went after. When CJ took an opportunity to go to Texas, Chad was our first call, and we kind of extended an offer, wanted to see where that went, gave him a lot of time with it because everything we knew from him, from Doug's experience with him, mutual contacts with him, Heath's relationship with him, we just felt like he'd be a fit with us, with our room, with our staff. So he was really the only one we went after, and certainly excited with what he's done so far.
Are there many coaches that you've been around that are allegedly as animated on game day as he is? Because the receivers are already talking about it.
Oh, we were making fun of him the other day because he was celebrating something on the sideline of a clip, and I said, finally we could see this on our sideline because we've all watched this in Buffalo for years of him running up and down. There's certain coaches that everybody across the league is used to seeing on sideline TV copies running up and down the sidelines. Chad's one of those. So now he's on our sideline, so hopefully that brings some value, some in-game energy to our group.
Jones, a guy who had a pretty big preseason a year ago. How much have you seen him grow over the last year, and where's he at right now?
Tim continues to get better every day, and part of it's you see just more comfortability with the way he's approaching things. He understands the scheme. Where last year it was new for everybody, so everybody was constantly learning. Tim's one of those guys that's sitting behind these top 3 guys plus Ag as well, competing for that spot. Was the guy that had the job last year and did a lot of things and provided a lot of value for our team. There were games we played without Marvin, without Zay, where Tim had a bigger role. And so we know we can trust him. And it's about Tim and these other guys continuing to compete for this spot, kind of on the back end of this receiver room.
Does practice shift starting today now that it's game week?
Not yet. Honestly, right now we're still kind of in our training camp mode of installing, working on certain things, setting up specific situations to see our offense in. And then we'll kind of evolve a little bit closer as we get into Dallas of what we're going to do, how we're going to play, who they are, and kind of get into that with our guys.
Live today? Do we get some live today?
I don't believe we're live today.
Back to Tim.
Do you want to be live?
I want to see you guys
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of live.
I'll tell Doug.
Speaking of
Make a
live,
note.
That fifth wide receiver
Oh,
spot,
I'll do live,
I know
yeah.
obviously part of the value of Tim last year is his blocking ability.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any other of the young wide receivers step up in that department to push him?
Yeah, a lot of those guys. Kevin Austin, I know, is a guy that, has been here in year 2. I think part of it's those guys understand what we're asking for that position. As long as we're healthy on the front of that group, that position becomes special teams blocking versatility. If somebody were to go down in the game, you want a guy that can fit in all 3 spots and not, all right, we got to move Christian outside because this guy can only play inside or whatever that is. So that's kind of the value of that 5th, 6th role right there. And so you see a lot of those guys, whether it be Kendrick Pryor, Kevin Austin, Seth Williams, the young guys, Jacob Harris, Elijah Cooks. Those guys have done a good job of understanding what the role is and being able to put themselves in position to provide that for us.
Is 5,000 yards now sort of reachable for everybody at this point, passing? Sorry. I mean, for the really good quarterbacks in this day and age.
The way the game goes, it certainly seems that way. I mean, every year you see passing records get shattered, how many guys are throwing for over 4,000, all that. So, I don't know that that's necessarily a big deal now, or a huge achievement, I guess I'd say. So it's certainly out there, but I think everybody's just doing what they can to win the game. I don't, at the end of the year, we don't care if Trevor throws for 5,000, 2,000, if we're in that last game of the year with an opportunity to win it all.
When you were growing up, or I'm sure you remember someone hitting that 4,000-yard mark.
Oh, yeah.
Just outrageous.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Drew Brees and Peyton Manning growing up, and it seemed like every year those guys were hitting those kind of numbers and stuff like that. So that was kind of the norm, and that was kind of an outlier, I guess, at the time. Now that seems like the norm, certainly from just the schemes and the quarterbacks that are in the league right now.
Doug talked yesterday about the offense needing to be multiple. Do you feel like with this personnel you can be more multiple?
We do. Yeah. I think especially when you look at the tight end room and the running back room and what those guys provide of, what our 13 personnel could potentially be 3 really good receivers or 3 really good receiving tight ends. Whether we want to attach to the formation, open from the formation, whatever that may be, the running back room provides a lot of versatility. We kind of have slashers, power backs, smaller backs, and then even the receiver room. A guy like Agnew just provides a weapon. He's a Pro Bowl returner that we can create space for, and the defense is certainly aware when he's on the field. So that's certainly something we want to continue to take advantage of. We want to be able to do whatever we need to do each week to win. And we've talked about that. Is it we need to throw it 60 times, we need to run it 60 times. We need to win a shootout, we need to win a slugfest. Whatever that is, our guys understand our goal is to go win the game. we don't, at the end of the year, we're not really concerned with what our stats are other than wins and losses. That's the biggest thing for us and the focus.
5,000.
5,000, yeah.
Like Michael.
It's great. It's just, yeah, like we want live practice, 5,000 yards passing. Got it. That's it. That's all we care about. So.
Is Walker Little another one of those guys who it's his second year in the system that you could see maybe taking a big leap, just that familiarity?
Yeah, and I think a big thing with those guys is the consistency of the message. So they're used to sitting in a meeting with Phil and understand the techniques we're asking you to utilize. They've practiced this. They've repped this for a year and a half now. So you're kind of seeing that all come to fruition. They're seeing why he's asking them to play a certain way, or whatever a scheme is asking us to do. I think as they understand that, they're able to play a little faster. They're able to be a little bit more confident, play with a little bit more conviction. So that's just kind of the natural growth we expect from year 1 to year 2 in this system.
Thanks,
Thanks, Bryce.
We've watched some bad offense around here for years, so you owe us 5.